All right. Shalom. Love it up. All right. Welcome to another episode of the Conflict Zone. You know, I'm Officer Abadawan, ISUPK Jamaica, under Commanding General YAHANNA. All right, the Conflict Zone now talking about, all will be cut off in that day. Meaning, well, we in the truth know that we're moving closer and closer to that war that is going to break out and devour the entire earth. Right now, they think they are managing wars, they're toying with it. But really and truly, these wars are going to break out and just cover the earth. Right? So, all right. So, we're looking at we starting a business in this time, really. I can't really say it don't make sense. Oh, that too cover don't make sense now. If you don't know when that day is gonna be, you don't have a clue as to when that day is going to be. So you have to do what you're doing while preparing for that day. You know that maybe just as you're about to turn the corner for success, you know, most time just crash things. But let's say you sit down and fold your hands. What? You sit down and fold your hands and gonna make him come quicker or any slower? I doubt that. Right? That won't happen. You will sit down and doing this. You know what? That soon come here, man. That don't make him come quicker. That don't make him come any slow. You have to be prepared for that day while doing the thing. I mean, we go to slavery, then, ain't it? We go to slavery. We go to our jobs. And while going to a job, it's the same thing. You starting a business or you're going to a job. Same time you're using. Well, you trying to start a business takes a little more time, really, because sometimes you have to get up and make early planning. And make some early planning while going to your job most times and just get up and go to your job. And you work on the job. When the job finish, you're back home. Please. All right, keep on telling me somebody need a premium account. Oh boy. All right, so mechanical adjustment here. All right. Trying to stream to other platform most times is really challenging. The most accommodating one so far, YouTube and Facebook. Twitter, X, find that then difficult to stream. You can stream on TikTok, but it's not recorded there. The other thing the other day, you stream and it's recorded, but where is it recorded? I don't know. All right. We're going to start out with a scripture. One drop of scripture first before we go into the tables. I have some scriptures. Isaiah 51:19 to 23. Most of us familiar already with, we're not familiar with the crisis in Haiti, but we are familiar about it going on. And day by day we're learning who is the problem, real problem over it. Yeah, we know the white man is the devil, but more in particular, is the white man half-breed over there and call them what, mulattoes. All right, in Isaiah 51, verse 19. All right, the book of Isaiah tells us about a time when we as the Most High people will be going through some turmoil, right? And one of that turmoil, the main thing we'll be going through in the last days is wars. And our people start feeling it. That is what is causing the displacement amongst our people. A struggle, a war. It's more spiritual in most of our cases, like here in Jamaica. Why is it that, the grassroots people, we have a thing now where, even the state just start analyzing our youth. Why? Because they might find them with a gun. Which way the state itself failed the youth in that they fail to monitor the ports properly so that these guns don't come in. It goes two ways. You're blaming the youth, but at the same time, you are to be blamed because you're not monitoring, you're not doing your job in monitoring the ports. Because once you talk about ports, then you're talking about money, and you're talking about most likely another race of people who have them big businesses coming in through the ports. So, most time the government don't want to touch it from that angle. They rather wait until them see the youth on the street or wherever with it, or hear same habit and thing, and then they go and analyze him, right? So, that is the battle we face. In Haiti, there's a battle. So that is a war, an all-out war with the gangs and things destabilizing the country. In Trinidad, the same thing. The pressure from the grassroots people, the most highest people. In Venezuela, you name it, whichever country, the most highest people is in turmoil. And the same spirit of war that is out and affecting the most highest people is going to affect, well, it's that affecting the other nations, leading them into battle, straight out battle. So the scripture that we reading now is describing a period of time when this battle is out there. Isaiah 51:19. These two things are come upon thee. Who shall be sorry for thee? Desolation and destruction. You want to see desolation and destruction? Watch any one of the wars. Um, Haiti, Ukraine, Israel, one that is going on with the Israelis and the Palestinian and Hezbollah. Or if you want to watch that one in Africa, the Congo region there, any one of the ones, then you will understand what this is said when it says desolation and destruction and famine, and it tells you right there the sword. Desolation here, destruction. Sorry, desolation here, the famine. The sword here, the destruction. By whom shall I comfort thee? You know, this was written at the time when Christ didn't come into this world. Isaiah. But now the most I have Christ, and Christ left with you the Holy Spirit, the Comforter. So as only that part of this question now you can answer. Who shall comfort you? Only the Comforter can comfort us. In the truth, we have each other. 20. Thy sons have fainted. They lie at the head of all the streets as a wild bull in a net. They are full of the fury of the Lord, the rebuke of thy God. So if you find in the street corner, you see our people, our youth, our sons, hanging out on the road. You know, not in a yard gate, you know, the lane mouth, the street mouth, the crossroad. Why are they doing that? Desolation and destruction lead us to that. 21. Therefore, hear now this, thou afflicted and drunken, but not with wine. 22. Thus said thy Lord, the Lord thy God. Thus said thy Lord, the God. Sorry, thy Lord, the Lord, and thy God that pleadeth the cause of his people. So you know that time is coming. Because it's coming by that time when the Most High will be pleading our cause with them other nation. Behold, I have taken out of thy hand the cup of trembling, even the dregs of the cup of thy fury. Thou shalt no more drink it again. So, you know, which is why, I always encourage our people. You want to do a business, push on. Pretty soon you're going to get these, the Most High is going to bring them other nations down and give you a break, give you a rise. The same way that they are able to, rise up their business, rise up their nation, you're going to get that chance again. So, we're not one who really sit down and fold hands and say, well, the Most High will do this or the Most High will do that. Right? We shall no more drink it again. Why we shall no more drink the sufferation and desolation and destruction again? That is the cup the Most High is saying he will take away from us. 23. He's going to put it in the hand of them that afflict thee. So in 80, who is going to become the afflicted? Those mulattoes, right? The oppressor and his children. Which have said to thy soul, now this is the great part. Now this is what they did to us. bow us down right down to our soul. So that thing that slavery, that chattel slavery that we went through, that put the chains on it, yeah man, that's the greatest desolation that has ever taken us as a people. Bow down that we may go over. Remember, I go over, that they may achieve what they want to achieve. They want to, just like how you in business, or you want to move from this point that you are, point A, you want to get to point B, where you achieve those things, you achieve your business, you set out the business, and you get it growing, you get it moving. You need hands, you need workers, but you can't afford to pay workers. Well, it's the same thing with what this is saying. That's what chattel slavery was about. Bowing you down that they may go over, that they may get through from point A to point B, build their empire from that low state that it was in and take it to the superpower state. They did it on our backs. And thou hast laid thy body as the ground and as the street to them that went over. So they walk on you. That's why we are called grassroots people. We're the grass. We're the ones who step on. We're the ones who we're the skateboard. All the monies that is making out of selling gunshot and selling guns. Who's at the receiving end of all that? Our people. The Most High is about to change that. He's about to turn that around. That's what he's talking about when he said, um, taking a cup of fuel from your hands and put it in those that afflict you. So to our people, payback is coming. That's why we always at the start of the conflict zone. The heroes play, payback is at that. Yeah. When Esau is in constant conflict. Yeah, that is a wrestling that will soon end. All right. Next thing we're gonna do, we have put this off long enough now, so we're gonna just jump right into some tables in the business. We're gonna go to screen. Mhm. Now, for those who was following on we're doing table, when we start the table, we talk about our capital costs. We talk about detailing our capital costs, making a capital cost, right? Where you go through and you look at all the things that you're going to you list all the things and research. If it's a new business where you know not much about, you have to do some research. If it's a business where you think you know about, still do some research. Because A lot of things change overnight when it comes to business, the way things are done. Um, you might have a business idea for the past 2, 3 years. Whole lot of changes in that field, whatever field of business you're looking at that you would like to go into. Now the next table after capital cost, we talk about the depreciation. It is good to do a depreciation table, It brings you into reality because whatever things you buy for a business, within a year or two, it's not worth what you had paid for it. So it goes down, depreciate. You can research, you can find, you have standard depreciation values that are out there that you could find on the internet. If you're talking about, it's only like land really appreciate. Motor vehicle depreciate. Motor vehicle is a liability. The only asset about motor vehicle is the resale value, which diminish each year. It's a liability. When you look at how much you spend for the upkeep, it falls under liability and it depreciates. Um, Furniture, equipment, those things depreciate. Right. Next thing you can look at now is replacing those things that depreciate. Some things that you buy for your business need replacing after 2 or 3 years. Sometimes it's not wear and tear, get it out, but like you have an accident, something get damaged, furniture get damaged. You have to buy a table which you probably didn't plan for. But you can look at it from now. You know that you're planning. How do I depreciate these things? Capital replacement costs. I don't want to know. We'll get to working capital. Right, depreciation table. Everything that you do for the business depreciate, except for the land. Capital replacement. Right. Now we're going into setting up working capital, quantities of operating inputs. The thing that you will be selling. All right. In this case, they were selling some bricks. You know them little brick we can use to make walkway. Yeah. So we're selling some bricks. This one I think was done for that bricks. This is a little complicated. Okay, the ones that most persons would like to do, and the one might be would be a little simpler, right? So to make the bricks now, you have raw material, utilities. Depending on the scale you're going on, you might need to find uniform. If not, if you're not going on that big scale, then helmets. For that, in that case, you do need helmets. You tell you what you need. But you surely need. Uniform, you might get away with that. Helmet, you need that. Gloves, you need that. Goggles. You know, they provide these things for a purpose. And boots, if you can't find it fully, you compromise with the worker, then find out you find out, some way. But why you provide these safety gear? I know most of you provide it and they don't wear it. The workers don't wear them safety gears, but you still have to provide it. And I tell you why, legal issue. If they get injured, first question is going to ask, did you provide any safety gear for them? Yes. Did you insist that they wear it? Well, yeah, you insist that they wear it, but the back problem, yeah, well, I know when they're working on their back, you supervising them on their back turn. They do something, they take off the safety gears. But if they're gonna get injured, like them, the best if they get injured, they safety gear. So you're doing a small business, but you have to think about these things. One lawsuit can damage your business, can damage you and your business. Which is why at the start of remember at the start of the business plan, we talk about the formation of the business, we talk about limited liability company, we talk about sole trader and partnership. Well, and this is where now a limited liability company would come to your protection. If you are being sued for damages, whether by a worker or a client, then the liability of that damage is limited to the, the company's assets. In other words, them can't come sue you and take down to your bed where you sleep on. But if you're a sole trader, the liability is not limited to the business. It's, it goes to your personal assets if you're a sole trader. So most people just, go with the headache of farming a business, the paperwork in farming a business and do their work in the business name. So you have an account and everything you buy everything through the business, the, the company I should say. All right, next utilities. So this is now the quantities of the operating input, which deal with the raw material. What's the raw material I need to make bricks? Cement, you need some cement. Colored brick, you're going to need dye. And colored brick, they're expensive, The machine to make them is expensive. Wow. Most people know about them. They just make the ordinary concrete bricks. So, without adding the color. The color part is what is the expensive part. Cement, bar, outside, sorry, gravel. Whatever is the ingredient that you need. So when you're baking, same thing, you would need those baking ingredients, that's your raw material. So, let's just bake a baking. Flour, yeast, or baking powder if needed, oil, butter, sugar, spices, wine, the different things you would need for baking. If it's baking. Then you have the utilities, water, electricity, and in some cases, telephone. If you're in a business where you have to call customers or things, then you have to put a telephone on that, even though you might be using a cell phone. Yeah, So by phone card, you charge back to the business the cost of making those calls. Then there is the uniform, the protective gears. There's baking. So you go ahead and baking. You need protection, man. You need a apron, you need the ear net, you might need a beard net, you might need the food gloves, you might need the thing there on your foot. You understand? You might need all those things. You might need for hand washing, like whether soap, sanitizer, whatever. If you think it right through the things you need. So all those gonna make up your operating input, the things that you will need. Then there's the labor. And when you're thinking about labor, you don't just say, all right, you think of labor in terms of this one is done up to 5 years. But let's say you're doing up to 3 years. How much would it cost you for each of the person working with you, including you too, because most times, now this is the big mistake we make most times. When you talk about labor, you, the business owner, your labor goes in it too. And you check it, you are the biggest laborer in the business. You spend more time laboring. All right, so this now number of workers. So for the pavers, you're going to need man to, you're going to need laborers, you're going to need lifters, machine operators, and so on. How much of them you're going to use? But this one now it was like two lead loaders, three lifters, three operators. So that's like a 306, 8 persons. So 8 persons for the year, right? So 233. And then you will see down this part here we have number of work days per year. You know what that is talking about? Number of work days is talking about one, you get a calendar and you go through, you get the calendar relative to the country that you're in. So for Jamaica now, because you're going to need to minus from the calendar now the year, the days that are holidays, and if you're not working on weekends. And I remember, like in Jamaica now, we work on weekends. It is more money for labor because I think Saturday they might pay time and a half. If you're working on Sunday, they might pay double time. If I taking away people, the person's time that would be theirs. All right, so I'm sorry, I can't remember. So you go through now and you count the days. You're not 365 days in the year. So we're minus for the 365 days, we're minus the weekends, Saturday, Sunday. So that left you with approximately 4 weeks in the month. Left with 5 days out of the week. 5 4 is 20, roughly 20 days. 20 times 12, 12 months. And then you have to go through now your mind, your count of the holidays. You have starting in January, you have New Year's Day, that's a holiday. In Easter time there, so those are holidays by law, whether you celebrate Easter or not. By law, if you give work, if you work on those days, you put your workers to work on those days, you will have to observe the labor requirement, the labor law that says you're going to pay them double time. So when you're working out the regular labor requirement, they don't include holidays in it. You have to do that separate. So you might also Easter coming down. We have Independence Day, Emancipation Day, and then we have um, Heroes Day come down. We have regular in December. Now we have regular Christmas, Boxing Day. Right. So you have to go through the calendar and you pick out all the birthday. So at the end of the checking now, you might end up with about 303 legally work days. Straight work labor day per man, per person. So each person doing 203 days. So if you have two loaders, you're looking at 606 work days. And if you have three lifters, then we're looking at 2 times 2, 3 times 203, 909. Right. That's all. This is the table you're setting up. You're setting up the table. Remember that. That is labor. Right. And then number of person days, right? 606, 908. So it's approximately 203. I think in Jamaica, when this was done, it's holiday coming after. I don't know. You have to go back and check it out. This is approximation. It could probably cut down now to 302 or 301. But I wouldn't advise you to round it after 300. Because chances are you're going to have a tendency to do more time than you would have here. So any adjustment you would make, you would actually put the work days more than the 303. Maybe 305. But this one was on a 303. And then now, project, they're going to put, next year, now they're going to project the price. So they're going to put, they can put an inflation index in it. Yeah, for the years. I have to do it up to 3 years. So they're talking about raw material and bag of cement. What from bag of cement? $1,000 in Jamaica. Marl, gravel, sand for the pavers and things, Those the quantities those selling is yard. So much yard the thing about. Much yard of each the thing about. So now you're going to have to do some research. How much yard of stuff give you? How much pavers do you get from 1 yard of stuff? Understand? Minus that little minus waste. And use waste 5 or 10%. And they put some price on those raw material. They put price on the utilities, water, what the average water bill like per month. electricity, how much kilowatt you think you're going to use. If you put uniform, what's the cost for each of those uniform, what's the cost for helmet, the cost for your boot, your gloves. If it's baking, what's the cost for those protective thing you need for the baking? You know, like your mittens, you use the mitten, the apron, the ear nets, what's the cost for those? And then the labor now put some cost for the labor, how much per day you going to pay each of those person. Put the money there. On the direct labor. And we go down to the next table now. Cost of operating input. This is where now you're going to put together now the quantities with the costs. So when you talk about cement, there was a point up here where you put a cement, you put cement price up there, so but in the quantities, right? In the quantities table, 40, you put a bag of you put cement bag. For the year, you might use 70, something like 70 something thousand bag of cement for the year. So that now, and then you're going to use, it says something like 5,611 yard of stuff. Your gravel and your man. So this table now, 4A, quantities of operating input is supposed to come down to alright, so the operating inputs table. So all right, so I list them by numbers. Four, table four, operating inputs. So I have 4A dealing with the quantities, 4B dealing with all of these dealing with working over, we're trying to determine the cost of these quantities. 4B dealing with the labor, 4C dealing with prices, and 4D dealing with the cost of the operating inputs, which is that's one of the down for me. Cost of operating inputs. Alright, so cost of operating input now, 4D. So the cement now, so you're gonna make, the cost of this, how much bag of cement you think you'll be using for the year with the cost of a bag of cement. So you multiply both. You do it for all of them. Utilities, for your helmet, for your yeah, that helmets, gloves, ear nets, boots, whatever. All those come under utilities. And then next thing now, probably with destruction. It is related to this for the show. What I'm doing here is related to because that's the back door part. Me alone, so I have to do what you're seeing plus the back end. So you multiply and total of all these now. So we do the same thing for labor. 203 days. 203 days per person, working days per person at whatever per day is the average payment. And you multiply that for each person. And of course, that's going to give you a large amount for the year. All right, this one, when this one was done, it came up with something like all of them operating inputs, I think 56 million or something. And they talk about the operation cost schedule, variable cost. The cost schedule now is where you split the operating cost to variable and fixed. Variable cost like your raw material, utility, it's the other, like the other is really something that you're not seeing now, which is gonna come up. Direct labor, transportation, you put in like a contingency. And a fixed cost going be like, so all right, so these utilities now, you see this table I was say cost of operating input. If you notice there was subtotal down here. So this total here is what? It come down to this table. Bam bam. So where did that come from? It come from right here. So right up by this subtotal here. So each of the subtotal under 4D cost of operating input. This would fall down to the operating cost schedule. That's what gives us this cost schedule. So what we were working on was called those are variable costs. All right. But there is some fixed costs that is not on the section up top. Like salary to your plant manager, the secretary, the driver, your handyman, your building maintenance, fuel, insurance and license, stationery for the office, telephone. Right, so you put the telephone that you put in operating cost up top. You can leave it out and put it down there at the fixed cost. You know, right, the telephone bill. But like flow have some things like like the Yard and Road, which is like the same cost each month. You could try that if you just starting a business. You give you the internet and you give you a telephone contact. You give you a phone and you give you internet, the entertainment too, for a fixed cost per month. It cost can change if you make calls like you make foreign calls or something. That can change. Alright, what else is under that? Telephone, interest expense, what is it then? Security, property tax, physical contingency, blah blah blah. So this push up now another $8 million to your fixed cost, which give you a total cost of $70 million per year. All right, working capital now. Quantities of 5. So that's the operating cost. So for the year, what this is saying for the year, to operate it is gonna take you $70,247 for the first year. Of course, this is not saying you need $70 million to start the business because it will be rotated. All right, working out the working capital now. Remember, there's a new business, so how you start your working capital? Quantities of raw material. You will have that already. So the working capital now until 5. It is 5A, 5 working capital. Cement, provision for raw material. But the crux of the matter with the working capital now is this part here, the work in progress. Finished goods used as a proxy. Total cost for the annual operating cost / annual output in units. So you have to work out that part now. What portion of that 70 million is going to be your working capital? If that is one easy way to do it, if the 70 million is for the 12 months, you need approximately 3 months of that for your working capital. Approximately. It could be a little less than that. So in other words, you divide that 70 million by 12, multiply it by 3. And you get three months of it. And that gives you an idea of how much your working capital would be. Because you're going to have to pay your bills, you're going to have to pay your workers, and you might not be making any money for 3 months. In other words, you make the goods, stock them up. You don't get any sales for 3 months. Well, to shut down your operation. It depends. If you're not getting, you can't do that with products like baked products. No, baked products don't work so. Working capital for baked products is only the non-perishable things you can't have about 3 months. You have to look like probably a month, but the finished goods But beef products only go up to shelf life. So let's say you're baking cake and the shelf life is 2 weeks. So you have to talk about the ingredients for the cake, the working capital for that will be up to 2 weeks. What it would cost you to have those ingredients, to maintain that ingredients for 2 weeks. Bam, you drop it in. If you want another week, I said 3 weeks. Give you an idea because the more cash you have to float with, the better is it for you to operate. Right. And then you talk about accounts receivable. The accounts receivable is Right. And then you talk about accounts receivable. The accounts receivable is goods. Right. So then this one now for the accounts receivable we use I had use 30 days. So finished goods, this one now was used for 6 days. So right. So we didn't use 2 weeks for this one. We use 6 days. And then the accounts receivable 30 days. So in other words, oh, you have to wait 30 days to get this money. And cash 5% of that. Gross working capital 77 million, blah blah blah, incremental net working capital. Alright, so you're supposed to divide this really and drop it down to approximately 3 months to get this. Alright? Forget your working capital. So get the incremental net working capital 77 million. And divide that now by the amount of months. Just like I tell you now, the shortest, easiest thing to do at this level is after working out your capital costs. You divide by the amount of months and approximately 3 months of your capital costs. Sorry, working capital. Approximately. Yes. Was it working capital? Table 4. Table 4 was what again? Operating costs. Approximately 3 months of your operating costs. Could give you an idea of the working capital. Then come down to table 6. Output schedule. So now the output schedule now, part of kind of the hardest thing is to work up the working capital. You set up your labor and your material and put some cost to it and know what it will cost you. All right, so now output this amount to the year at this cost. And so, that's the other part. Output schedule now. Output per day. So each of those favors that you're making, let's say you're making 5,000 per day, which I mean, they can always write that on paper, but in reality, the kind of machine you would require to put out 5,000 per day is really expensive. To put out 1,000 papers a day, expensive too. But of course, when you're starting up, you can start it up like that, because you have to work on your customer base and all that. So you work on output schedule, how much per day? This one's a 5,000, which give you 1.5 million per annum, which give you a sales of, okay, yeah, table 7, 8 projected selling price. So pavers, if you do different size, different style, each of them what it costs, at least them in table 7, 8. Because in 7B now, you're gonna put the amount you think you're gonna make for the year with the cost. And then we're going to come up with the gross revenue, which is the output, the finished product output, and how much you're going to sell for. What you think you're going to output for the year at what cost? And that gives you your gross revenue for the year. Let's see, the time is up on us. So we are gross revenue. Next week now we can pick up with talk about financing. So basically, what we did there, that show you how to arrive. So far we cover farming, the business. If you have been tracking us through the program, farming the business, we can have a recap of it. Can go a recap. The first part of the business we'll recap that several weeks. That's the worded part. We'll talk about the planning. The tables now is that's the crux of the matter. With the road, they actually put pen to paper and say, I'm going to make this amount and sell each of them for this. Of course, spoilage and things. Waste, like I said, is also in it. 7B says no loss rate, spoilage, etc. It will work at 10%. So for each paper now, if you say you make if in 7A let's say you're going to make 1,000 papers per day. But you're going to use a 10% spoilage. So for 1,000 papers, you're talking about 100 of them will spoil per day. So that's going to give you a spoilage rate of 10%. So the actual input for the day, resaleable input is not going to be 1,000, it's going to be 900. So the 900 now is what is going to be used right here in table B. Wow, that says 6-inch block. So this, think of it as a paper. The 6-inch paper is that amount for the year, which will be 900 times the 202, and they have the 8-inch paper. And I give the gross revenue now. So you're not, so when you put out 1,000 per day, you're not going to check the revenue at 1,000. You use your minus is spoilage. And you have to be real. You're going to have spoilage. So anything you're doing, you're going to have spoilage. Just like you bill most time on you're not the one part. Something went wrong. So in our case now, we have a gross revenue schedule. Something went wrong with it. This is saying 55 million. So maybe we haven't touched it because if you remember the operating cost for the year was like 70 million. So the revenue could not be the sale price. The sale price was the price. Oh yeah. You have one of them paper, One of these papers now. 6-inch paper. Price of $20. Let's see, $80. This one is 50. Let's say 100. Alright, so this now will give you gross revenue, looking a little more realistic. For the first year, 111 million, with an operating cost of 70 million, with a net profit of roughly 40 million. Not bad. We will try and save a big portion out of that. Alright, so this now carry it on to next table now, financing plan. But this is where you set up the table and everything that you're thinking about. Financing. What's gonna be equity, what's gonna be loan. Like I said, next week we're going to pick up at that part, but I never have time for another scripture before we leave. Zephaniah chapter 1. All right, we can just close it right here. Pick up back next week. And like I said, we're going to do a recap. One of them weeks. I will just try and go through as much. We're going to take a while. And we did a lot of tables. We did a lot of tables. We're going to do some more. Sorry, I mean a lot of even the business, the section, the wording section, those topics, yeah, there's a lot too. Can revise in one class, in one session. All right, so until next week again, you know, gonna have to say shalom until next week, you know. But you know, the business plan, no matter how simple the business is that you're thinking of doing, you know, you have to plan. The most I said, doing something, you count the cost. So the business plan is where we count the cost of what we need to do. And then we're going to make it all look at how we can, all the ways in financing a business. There are many ways to finance a business. Which way is available to you as a person? Bank, I will tell you, our bank set up these days last resort. Bank's not favorable to business. All right, so until next week again, we say, Yahweh Shimra Shai Baratata to the brothers, Yahweh Shama Alatan Basham Yahweh to the sisters. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. You know, the conflict zone. Shalom.
They killed, give me Isaiah 14 and 21. They did the same thing to my people. So that you said that they put millions of my actions. Should a murderer go to jail for murdering? Absolutely. Should a thief go to jail when he steals? Absolutely. Should a robber pay back the money he robbed? Absolutely. So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did? That's right. One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. Payback is a dog. Payback is a dog. I'm in a hell of a hole, was never expected to grow. Just hustle, go stand in the road, that a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never a home, only a place of captivity, safe facility, hating, disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe this slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting, the trail of my tears is countless. The fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angel, be ready to rap. Crack in the sky, nuclear missiles are making it official. I'm capturing every cracker surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be, slavery for me. And let the whole world see that with them in the cages, safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash, get resolved for the beast. 144, get the brutal show, we could all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom be busting it down. The only way justice is found, the time for your judgment is now.
You'll see just how it feels. Payback is a door. Payback is a door. Payback is a door. Payback is a
Look, ain't no remorse in my blood slim. It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms. Watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I buy gon' be Gen 5. I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell. Praying payback come back around like a carousel. Still remember YAHANNA's words ringing in my head like bells. Said you in his body, you fit the Lord, fuck the cocktail. Triangle choke, apply pressure to the game like I did Bondale. Payback's a bitch in a dress. She a bombshell. Revenge is served cold. I just hope they make an oxtail. Glock fresh out the box, I swear it got that new car smell. Made myself a target in the world of mad shooters. There was design 5 for our babies to pass through it. And the day of our king's reign, I'll be overzealous.